What was the reason? What are the people speaking about it? For and against. You are thinking about, Reserve Bank of India. It announces quarterly monetary policy. What is monetary policy? Okay, let me read, let me study. Okay, that kind of anxiety you should have. Of course, we are there to teach that to you in the second trimester. But till then, probably, yes, you would be eager to know. GDP is one word which often you hear or read. What is GDP? Gross Domestic Product. And what is there in very simple word? As I told you in second trimester, we'll go into the nitty-gritties of GDP. What comprises GDP? What are its components? Right now, in a layman's language, rough and tough language, you say it's the income of the country, is GDP. It's a quantitative figure. And when GDP rises, you call it as economic growth. But the question is it enough if GDP rises? GDP is rising very fast. Okay. So GDP rises. This is the population of the country. But entire GDP is cornered by this segment. And nothing is there with them. GDP is generated. So that means what? There is concentration of wealth in the hands of few people. GDP has grown by leaps and bounds, but it is not equitably distributed. What is famously called as fruits are not enjoyed by everyone. That's what they say. But when there is a qualitative development, so okay, GDP is increasing. Now it is concentration only in the hands of few, and there are problems such as maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rates are very high. Okay, you know what is maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, I need not tell you. Infants dying. Okay, and maternal mortality is mother also dying. Okay, and there are large scale problems such as deep poverty, large scale unemployment, all that is there. GDP is growing. Okay, so we say, when such a thing is there, we say there is no qualitative development. So when there is qualitative development, you get what is famously called as economic development. So although the two terms are used interchangeably, economic growth and economic development in day-to-day language, but strictly speaking as economic students, you should know that there is a difference between economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is only a quantitative phenomena, a quantitative figure, a mathematical figure. GDP of this country is this many $1 million or $1 billion. Last year, now it has increased by 50%. Okay, economic growth. But economic development, when the maternal mortality rates comes down, infant mortality comes down, when there is equitable distribution of wealth, when your occupational structure is dynamic, when all these quantitative changes happen, there is economic development. So both the terms are should not be used interchangeably. They are different. That's what you should know. So GDP is just gross domestic product. What it is and all, you will be told. And in the first year, you have economics for manager, or it is called as managerial economics somewhere. It is called as microeconomics somewhere, so on and so forth. So it is the firm level economics that you study. Economics of an individual like you and me, a firm like say Reliance, etc. Small part, micro. So what do you study? Very interesting. It starts with demand supply analysis. What is cost? What is production in economics? What are markets? You say very often monopoly. You heard about it, even if you were not economics student. So what is monopoly? No, all this you learn. But how do we start? Those who were commerce graduates or arts graduate with economics, you studied only theory. But here it won't be like this. First, theoretical concepts are made strong. What we do here, I and my colleagues, we first teach the theoretical concepts. We make it strong. Then we start with practical application questions. How, as managers, in future, you are going to apply the economics knowledge that you have studied to your day-to-day decision making. Say you are the manager heading a department wherein the responsibility is to cut costs. So, in your organization, lots of travel is required. Your colleagues have to travel a lot. Your boss has asked you, okay, come and tell me how we can cut the travel costs. Do something. Okay, and cut the travel costs. So you are in a dilemma how it is to be done. Okay, if I cut the travel costs, if I reduce the air travel, my colleagues will get very angry with me. They will be very displeased. And if I don't do that, my boss has given me a target. How will I do? Suddenly, when you are sipping the tea, you are thinking about this. Okay, colleagues on one side, boss on one side. You are reading an article that video conferencing has become an alternative to air travel. One article has come. Another article has come. Number of low-cost airlines have come up. So you will be given this and you are asked to find out the impact of these two factors. What is it? New low-cost airlines have come up. Many, dozens of them. And other is video conferencing is emerging as an alternative to travel. So considering this factor, find out the impact on the prices of air travel tickets. Then you have chapter on elasticities. That's a different. Okay, that measures, how you respond to a change in price. Now price has reduced. But I responded to the price reduction in one particular way, and he has responded with the reduction in price, I increased my demand by 10 units, but he did it by only 1 unit. So our degrees of responsiveness to the same change in price, mind you, to the same change in price is different. Why like that? So this takes you to the chapter on elasticities, that how you respond to same rise or reduction in price. You will have plenty of practical application questions on that. With rise in price of burgers, what is the impact on demand for pizza? With rise in prices of jaggery, what is the impact on price of sugar? With rise in incomes, what is that commodity which people purchase the more? So all this you have. So that is elasticity. So like this, you'll come to know. I don't want to tell you all this right on the first day. Right. So now let me ask you some questions. You come here.
So certain countries like Israel and Singapore and some Middle East countries like Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and some African countries like Libya, Egypt, Nigeria, Sudan. How do you define the economies of such countries?
How do you define the economies of such? See, Singapore is a blessed country. Okay. It's definitely a free enterprise economy. Small country inside, but of course, lots of economic freedom, and it has grown. We are always told to compare ourselves with that. Of course, the other countries that you are mentioning, how do you categorize them? Now, to categorize them, now these countries still call themselves as believing in socialism. Okay, but they have never announced that they follow one particular ideology. There are some countries like Israel, okay, which is busy waging wars always. Okay, it doesn't have time to think about economy. Yeah.
It is due to reason, sir. They are not doing it on purpose.
What is the reason?
Sir, the Middle East people don't want them to exist.
Okay, very good.
Relatives behind it.
Yes,
What they
yes,
can do.
yes, yes. Okay, you have taken admission in
Sir, behave.
BF. Okay, yeah, right. So, whatever it is, whatever might be the reason, okay, but there are some countries which feel they do not have an economic ideology of their own, and as you said, you know, these countries totally depend on oil, Saudi Arabia and countries like that, and oil is their food, and you have seen now oil prices are drastically falling down because of so many reasons that will come later on. Okay, now I don't want to discuss that. So they are in a bad shape, you know, that downsizing is happening and there are so many problems here. So that's what it is. Okay, and now I will ask some questions, just some GK, business quiz. How many of you are business quiz enthusiasts here? Business quiz. Have any one of you participated in business quizzes? Okay, only one among 300 odd. Business quizzes are is passionate about quizzing. Only one person. That's a bad news for me and my colleague Professor Narendranath Menon. Among your seniors, there are many quiz enthusiasts and they have won prizes. So you should cultivate that. There are some typical business school habits, which I call it as. You know, you have to participate in inter-college competitions, debates, marketing events, business quizzes, so on and so forth. That is very essential, that adds tremendous value to your CV. And one more thing, first year is the year when you build up your base as much as you can. After first year, you will not get time because summer, you have to do your summer internship project. So first year, prepare your basics. Be strong with, because the employer is going to ask you basics only. He will not give you a complex problem to solve and all that. Basics of your respective subjects and also GK. You will be surprised to know some of your seniors were asked capitals of some of the states of our country. Now you cannot question, why are you asking me capitals? Okay, is this some 7th class, 8th class GK class? Why are you asking me capitals? Don't ask. You cannot say that. Okay, that's what. You will be surprised many times. Okay, so be thorough with GK. Read, be voracious reader. I'm not telling you that you have to become bookworm or something like that. You will have to enjoy the life also here. That also is there. But unless in first year, your foundation is strong, second year, every September, October onwards, the tension mounts. You know, once you are in second year. Now you see your seniors will be in tension from October onwards because the employers start knocking the door. October till January, February, it goes on. And you should get employed as early as you can. Otherwise, you will be in tension. You will be employed. That you don't have to worry. Okay. But as early as you can, then you're tension free. Then you can enjoy. Okay. But otherwise, it will be a problem. So, be thorough. Right from the day one. This is the time when you can do it. Please do it. It is my humble request. Otherwise, you will repent then. Okay, I did not. Okay, what did I do with it? Let me ask something. You know, who is Chanda Kocha? Right. And of course, I will not ask you who is Raghuram Rajan, right? Who is who was Pascal Lamy and who is his successor? Who was Pascal Lamy and who is his successor? Some very important organization, something to do with international trade. No, something to do with international trade. Now I have given you the hint. No. International trade. There is a body which governs the international trade, WTO, right? World Trade Organization. That is also a product of globalization. So, the previous Director General of WTO was Pascal Lamy and his successor is Roberto Azevedo. You have to see their photos. Many times they will ask you. This also has happened. Let me tell you with your seniors who passed out. Okay, that who is Roberto Azevedo? Who is Arundhati Bhattacharya? Can you name some of the top contenders for the RBI governor's post? Is one. Okay. One more name. Over.
Urjit Patel, Deputy Governor of RBI right now. Urjit Patel.
Very good. Gurumurthy is the contender. This is a new. Okay, this I was not aware of this. Okay, who's? Yes, Subir Gokaran. Right. And one more name, very famous name. Huh? Human name. No, he's not the contender. One last name. His surname is Basu. What Basu? He is in World Bank right now. He is Kaushik Basu. Very famous heavyweight in the world of economics. Indian, of course.
Good morning, friends. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce a wonderful and memorable inaugural and orientation program for PGPs, the class of 2018. Cognizant Technologies, a global leader in business and technology services, our recruiter, tested our students and assured the quality of our students by visiting every year as a recruiter. AMDISA, Association of Management Development Institutions of South Asia, with a mission to promote management education, tested our institution and accredited with South Asian Quality Standards, SACS. Friends, we have Senior Vice President from Cognizant Technologies, Executive Director from AMDISA. I am sure that there is no other day than this to have and to start a new academic year, the class of 2018. Let us welcome our guests with a big round of applause. And to get the blessings of Almighty, I request Miss Harini to sing a prayer song. Please raise for the song.
महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दितमहागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दितमहागणपतिम् महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहनुतं महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहनुतं मारकोटिप्रकाशं शान्तं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदकप्रियं महागणपतिं मनसा मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दित महागणपतिम् Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harini. Friends, positive attitude, positive energy, high ambition, burning urge, perseverance. All these are the motivating words that we hear from eminent intellectuals. But friends, I'm glad to tell you that our beloved director, Professor R.K. Mishra, is an example to experience all these qualities and many more in fact while working with him. I'm proud to say that we have a visionary leader for IPE. Professor R.K. Mishra is one among very few professors who excel in teaching, training, research, and consultancy, all the 4 areas of this profession. Dr. R.K. Mishra is a great teacher, is ONGC Subir Raha Chair Professor on Corporate Governance, is a visiting fellow at London Business School, taught at the University of Bradford, studied for International Teachers Program at SDA Bocconi, Milan, and was a visiting professor at Maison des Sciences DL Holmes, Paris. And it's an institute on social science research, and it invites the eminent people from different countries. I'm glad and proud to say that our director is one among them and visited this particular institute. And is a faculty of economics, University of Ljubljana, and Accountancy Research Institute, University of Technology, Mara, Malaysia. Coming to training, many CEOs and vice presidents and top executives of different private and public enterprises register to attend his training program on managing the boards in every quarter. He is a member of the UN Task Force on International Standards of Excellence in Public Administration and Education. He is a Vice President, International Association of Schools and Institutes of Administration, Brussels. He is special invitee on OECD Working Group on Privatization and Corporate Governance of SOEs and Asian Network of Corporate Governance. He is also a member panel of experts on reforms in central public sector enterprises set up by the Planning Commission, Government of India. He is a member ad hoc task force set up by the Cabinet Secretariat to review the results framework document